Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. My name is Daniel and I'm the High Mileage Helper. On this channel, my goal is to be able to help you learn more about the RV transporting industry, as well as give how-to videos for your truck and then give recommendations along the way. So if this is our first time meeting, just consider subscribing, hitting the like button if you get good value. And in today's video, we're going to be talking through something that actually just came up in a comment that I wanted to address. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So the situation that came up was a person commented something really kind of comparing apples to oranges. They addressed the cost of fuel in correlation with the pay. And so in that video, I had done all my numbers at the very end of the video, talked through my profit, all of those things. And this person plugged in today's price of fuel with that pay from that previous video. Now, I believe that video was over a year old, and normally that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but however, if you've been awake over the last year, you would have known the fuel prices have gone through the roof. You know, it was roughly $2 a mile when I made this video. It's over $6. It's even beyond that. So of course, the actual profitability of, if you plug in today's numbers with that, actual pay, the pay and the fuel for the cost for the fuel, it's going to be much less profitable. Arguably, you might not even want to take it, period. It's not just a normal load, it's significantly less. And so this person basically just kind of said, hey, what's the deal? Because am I missing something? Because you're not making much money at all. And, in a vacuum, look at the timestamp of when the video was published. Probably any creator talking about money, making money of any sort in transportation or anything like that now, more than ever, I'm seeing more and more comments directed towards people saying, how are you making any money at this pay rate? Even much lower pay rates with the cost of fuel right now. So basically comparing today's fuel prices with yesterday's fuel pay, or overall pay, gross pay. And how are you making any money at all? You're losing money. That's just, it's craziness. And I think that's a much bigger issue than just YouTube comments coming in to any creator. If you're a YouTube content creator, please let me know, have you ever had anybody comment about the fuel cost or plugging in yesterday's information for today, or vice versa, or whatever, to where it's not the same thing. You're not comparing things in a fair way, however you want to say it. I think this is a bigger thing than just a YouTube thing. I think this is a overall lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. The idea that you're comparing the same things together, knowing what you're actually talking about. $2 a mile a year plus ago, even for a larger camper that I took at lower fuel economy and all those things, I was still extremely profitable because the cost of fuel was a third of the price. It was great. Today, $2 a mile for that same camper, I'm not going to take it. I don't know who would. It has to be higher pay to make it worth it to me. And I think whether it's somebody talking about me and what I've done on a YouTube channel, what I'm currently doing with my business type of a situation, or for you, are you plugging in today's pay with today's prices? Are you comparing last year's? It goes both ways. Are you saying you're less profitable now because you have a mindset of past, prices, that you're talking about previous pay rates, previous fuel prices? Are you plugging in, or are you flip-flopping them? How are you actually talking through? Because simply saying, well, the cost of fuel has gone up, so I'm losing money in my business in hauling campers. And I think that's a real problem, because yes, we absolutely are paying more for fuel. Likewise, and maybe it's not as perfectly time-stamped as fuel goes up, the pay rates go up, but across the board, we are getting more money per mile. I don't know what company you're maybe at, maybe whatever the situation is, but the truth is we can't plug in yesterday's pay rates with today's fuel prices and expect it to be an accurate representation of what's truly going on. And I think it's a big problem, because it takes a little bit more effort to actually think through some of these things: the pay, the fuel, your insurance, the maintenance, the cost of oil, the availability to get the oil you want. Maybe you have to pay even more money for an oil you don't want, because the stuff you want is not even available. It's a lot more involved than just assuming a lot of things, and really you're spending about 5 seconds talking through or thinking through something. I'm just personally, I'm not mad at the person, and actually multiple people who have actually commented these types of things on my videos, plugging in today's fuel prices with yesterday's pay. It's happened several times. I'm not gonna blast anybody on here. You can see it in the comments, and I haven't really responded to most of them, because I just don't. If I have to explain even that to you, and I'm kind of doing it right now, but I'm willing to make a video about it and talk through this right now. But like, dude, we've got to critically think through this. It's not exactly. It's plug and play, but we gotta critically think through. I don't know what else to say. It's a little bit more complicated than just, well, this is how it's always been, and now in this one area where it hurts, it's more noticeable to us, and we plug in that number with what we've had going on for a long time and say, well, we're just not profitable. The truth is, you might be less profitable. Do you know your numbers? By how much? Are you going to get out of this industry because it just seems like it's less profitable? Are we talking hundreds of dollars a month of a difference? Are we talking thousands of dollars of a difference? What are we talking about here? Are you running the same amount of loads now as you were before? Because it seems like you're making less money. Well, you're taking less trips that are less miles. Is that a part of the equation? Like, there's so many more parts to this whole conversation that people just aren't having with themselves. They're just gonna broad brush, can't make any money, can't do this isn't working. Dude, talk me through it. Like, when you're talking through these kind of things with a buddy, somebody else in the transport industry, whatever, talk through it with them as if no matter what you say, they are going to disagree with you. Convince them. Go through every single aspect. Actually find out the information you have got going on. What are your numbers? How many miles are you traveling a month? Track your maintenance costs. What is the average pay rate you're getting paid? What's your average fuel economy that you're getting? All of the above is important to know. And I think it's just a dangerous thing when we start talking about, well, I'm not making as much money as I used to. Is that because of a arbitrary piece of the pie that you're just not really looking at? You used to take longer runs, you're not taking as many. You've had more maintenance more recently because the truck's got a little bit more miles to it. You're down a little bit more often. Did you switch companies? Like, what is the, I'm not making as much money, or I'm not as profitable, whatever that may be. The truth is, you very well might be making less money, but why? What is the why? If you don't know the answer to that question, I don't know what to tell you. You need to find out. It could be because, yeah, fuel, the cost of operating has gone up. Has the cost, or the payment that we're receiving now, has that gone up? Yes, it has. Well, by how much? Well, let's pull the numbers together. Let's talk through it. Instead of posting comments on YouTube, or just looking at your bank account thinking that you're making less money, you couldn't prove it, you couldn't talk through the numbers, you just have a gut feeling. Today, you know, having the idea that today's gonna be a bad day because you woke up, rolled out of bed, and stepped on a pebble or something. So the rest of the day, it's that line of thinking of, well, I just have a feeling. You know, the wind's blowing this way or that way. Feels like it's gonna be a bad day, feels like it's gonna be a good day. We gotta do better. For you, for me, for everybody. Like, it's just, it's a little concerning when people have maybe even been doing this job for a while, being in RV transport, being a transporter of some sort, and we're comparing things that shouldn't be compared. They're not the same. And really just assuming a lot of things, assuming everything's the same. They're not the same. Inflation has just dramatically changed the game. It's always been a thing. It's always been, you know, kind of been a ticking time bomb. It's so much more drastically. It's almost like it's catching us off guard by so much that we're not even, I mean, we're just, I mean, we didn't even see it go by. I mean, it's just whew, gone. And we're like, well, I guess things are still the same. They're just not. This video is only to, it's concerning to me. It's slightly frustrating to me because I hope you open up your eyes. Whoever needs to hear this, I don't know. I hope it's just a few people, and this helps. But I think it's a lot more people than just a few. And you need to find out your numbers. You need to compare the same things with each other. You need to think twice, or maybe 3 times before speaking once. There's a lot more things going on than just fuel prices have gone up. This isn't profitable anymore. It's bigger than that. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's factors are different. There very well could be people in certain situations with how many miles they're willing to run, with their cost of their insurance, based on their history, their age, their record, their violations, their whatever it may be, the cost of their truck, the cost of their maintenance for the type of truck, issues, the certain types of tires they want to buy. They buy I mean, there's just so many factors. It's crazy. And we're going to say, well, because I operate this way, it's the same for everybody else. It's not the same. It's just not. For better or for worse, there could be people who on one side of the road in the ditch saying, well, I'm profitable. And the truth is, if they knew their numbers, they're just barely scrimping by what they need to bring home for their monthly budget. It's just barely happening. They're robbing, you know, Peter to pay Paul. There could be other people in the ditch thinking they're aggressively profitable, and the truth is they're not so much, or maybe they're going in the hole, living on credit, living on a dream. And that, you know, maybe things could turn around for them, but if you don't know your information, and you're just going to assume things, it's troubling. It's very troubling. So anyways, I just want to put this out there. Hopefully it's thought-provoking. I don't say this to scare anybody or to, I only have love for you. I only care about you. I don't know every single number. I don't track every little single thing possible for my situation, but I know I have a good pulse on where I'm at, what's going on. I don't really operate with I'm more profitable, I'm less profitable, with how the wind blows. I know quite a bit on my numbers, my information, and I hope that's your situation as well. If not, start tracking. Find out. Prove me wrong, prove me right. Whatever, prove whoever. Prove to yourself that you actually know what's going on around you, what you're doing. Even if the truth is, if the numbers don't match up, if the information, you don't like the answer of what you found out, change something, adjust something. Run more miles if you're not willing to run more miles. Only take certain loads that are going to certain places that are a higher paying load of some sort. If that's not going to work for you, if you don't have your CDL, go get a CDL. If you're, to get that higher pay rate, per load, if you're even down to the wash fee, or not the wash fee, the pull-in fee, take longer loads that per load it's the same pull-in fee. Do that. Like, there's a number of different things you could make small adjustments to make it more profitable, to retain the money you would have earned from the gross. Make small changes. Follow up the next month. Find out. That's what I got for you today. Hope it's a help. Stay safe out there, and God bless, guys.